There we go. On today's agenda, we have an overview of the GradFlix competition happening with myself and Judy Pattison. We will be going over the things you can expect from this year's competition, as well as the changes that we have in store for 2023. And of course, finally, we will be going through the GradFlix Workshop Series. So if you have already seen that, it's fantastic. This year, we have so many amazing folks who have been willing to share their expertise with us. And we are super lucky and very excited. So I'm going to go through what we've got on the lineup and everything for you. Like I say, any questions, do feel free to go ahead and ask us at any point. All right. And so here we go. We're going to begin today with our land acknowledgement. We would like to begin by acknowledging that McMaster University recognizes and acknowledges that it is located on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and Haudenosaunee nations and within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. And now looking at what is GradFlix. So let's see, how many people happen to be new to GradFlix? This might be the first year that you're thinking about doing it. Anyone who is completely new to GradFlix, tell us in the chat. Cool. And I see we have some hands up from a couple of folks over here. I'm not sure if those are questions or if you're new.
I'm new.
Excellent. Well, welcome. Thanks, Young Kai.
Thank you.
We are so totally glad to have so many new faces. And for those of you who are around for more than just this year, feel free to join in again next year. We love our repeaters too. So if we have any repeat folks in the audience, we're glad to have you here. We really are passionate about GradFlix. So if you're wondering what is GradFlix, it's a video competition for grad students that first started at the University of Waterloo a few years ago. You create a 1-minute video to share your research story. So you only get 60 seconds. If anyone has heard of 3-minute thesis, or maybe if you've been around in your program long enough, you might have participated or known others who participated, that's 3 minutes and one static slide. Here you get 60 seconds and a video. So it's a little bit different. You really have a chance with GradFlix to get creative about how you are explaining your research. And that's one of the reasons that we really, really love it. So in terms of looking at what the video must include, you must have movement. So again, I'm going to compare with 3-minute thesis where you had a static slide. That was it. Nothing could move, change anything. In GradFlix, you must have some kind of a movement. So whether it's slide transitions, zooming in and out, it could be an object moving. You could do a live action video. So last year, our third place finalist, as well as our People's Choice, was Geneva Smith, and her video was scripted and had live action. So the people acting. That counts. You could also have stop motion, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but Sergio Reyes Villanueva, who was our second, he used a form of stop motion and live motion for his movement. Or you could do animation like Stacey Mark, who came in first last year. All those videos can be found linked through our website on our YouTube channel, and you can watch them. We really encourage you to see what other people have done as you're trying to brainstorm how you want to tell your story. But for now, all you need to know is it has to have some kind of movement. You also need to have some kind of sound, whether that is a voiceover, whether that's sound effects, music, could be anything that you like. You need to have some kind of sound as you go through, okay? In terms of eligibility, you must be a graduate student registered in a master's, research-based master's program or a PhD program. Unfortunately, course-based master's students aren't eligible to take part in GradFlix. That's part of the rules that we are keeping with in the spirit of across all of the other universities. Okay. And your video needs to be focused on the research you were conducting for your thesis, major research paper, or dissertation in your current grad program. Okay, so if you have joined and you had another project on the go from a previous program or previous degree, it needs to be research that you're working on now that is the subject of your GradFlix video. So if in doubt, ask us. We will be happy to have this conversation. We had a few folks ask us various questions like this last year. So please do reach out to us and we're happy to decide on eligibility criteria at any point, so no worries. Your video must be able to be made public. Okay, so it's going to be distributed. That means that any data or information that you discuss or present in the video submission should be considered public. If your research includes confidential or culturally sensitive material, we advise that you discuss your competition entry with your supervisor before entering GradFlix. If you're unsure, ask them, ask us. There's a contact form that Judy's going to put the link in the chat that you can go ahead and reach out to us at any point in time. That contact form comes directly to us. So, you know, feel free to use that and elaborate, and we'll go through and answer your questions for you. All right. All right, now we're getting to the fun stuff, the rules. Okay, so your video must focus on research and must be no longer than 60 seconds in length. That's how much time you get to tell your research story. Anything longer than 60 seconds will be disqualified. I'm going to put a little pin in that because I'm going to talk about copyright in just a moment. So let me clarify and say that your research story, that part of your video is 60 seconds, not a penny more. That's it. That's as far as you get to go. Your submission must be your original work, whether that includes a script, original music, a poem, you know, make it your own. You really have a lot of different opportunities to tell the story how you want to tell it. The videos, you get one submission per competitor. So, you know, only one try. And you will, of course, have to abide by the decision of the judges. Their decision is final. All right, and now onto that copyright piece. So when you are doing your video, what we added last year was a closing slide. This was in addition to the 60 seconds. And on this final slide is where you are going to cite the different pieces that you have used in your video. And we ask that you go ahead and indicate where you obtained your images or your sound or what have you, whatever you've used. Okay, so as an example, you could have on your slide, all images are courtesy of Pixabay. You don't have to name them out or cite anything else because of the terms of using Pixabay. What we want to do is we want to avoid copyright infringement. And this happens if you use someone else's creative work, whether that's music or illustration or graphics or photos or written work or anything else without their permission. With copyright, it's always best to err on the side of caution. If you aren't sure about the copyright on a piece of music or an illustration, don't use it. Okay, just because you see it on the internet doesn't mean you have the right to, you know, pick it up and pop it into your GradFlix video. Not only is it the law, but it's also the right thing to do, and it's mandatory for our program to work. So our finale is going to premiere on YouTube, And if anyone has an item in their video that breaks copyright and you make it to the final, YouTube can pull the entire video. They are very strict about this, and the timeline for getting their decisions overturned is unbelievably long, which means that we would really be in trouble. So we encourage you, if you have any questions about anything, come ask us. We're happy to talk to you about any questions you might have. And I'm going to reiterate again to say that this final slide with the copyright information, this is in addition to the 60 seconds that you have for your research story. Okay, so your entire video might end up being, say, 63 seconds or 64 seconds because you have that copyright slide that has the information on it. Don't worry about it. As long as your research story stops at 60 seconds, you're good. All right.
I just want to confirm.
Yes, Emily.
Yeah, so just if, like, I'm just using my own videos and my own voice and something that I wrote, I can just write, you know, all videos and sound and everything was original. It should just include something, right?
Yep, that would work.
Okay.
If you're, wow, if you're actually doing everything, yes, it's all original. We'll it's see. All good.
Okay, thanks.
You're very welcome. And if anyone uses a mix of original stuff and stock, you know, then yeah, just indicate, you know, the stock stuff that you've used. And then you could be free to say, you know, illustrations, sound, or songs, or literature, or whatever. It's all original. So, you know, that's where we're dividing the line there. All right, the important stuff here now is the judging criteria. So we have changed it up again from last year. So anyone who was in the competition last year or knew someone, we've made a slight shift. So we've gone back to our original scoring, 50% communication, 30% creativity, and 20% technical. So I'm going to go through those. The communication will be weighted at 50%. So essentially, this is your ability to explain complex ideas in an accessible way and to a broad audience. Basically, if someone has watched your video and walks away, could they explain your research story to someone else? That's what you want to aim for, is can somebody explain what it is that you're telling them, whether that is your research question or your research findings or the importance of your research, whatever that happens to be. You know, are you able to communicate that in a way that somebody can understand and then repeat to someone else? That is the goal. 30% creativity. This is about the way that you tell your story, the visual impact of your video. And it's a lot harder to define creativity. I know. This could be the way that you tell your story. It could be that you script something out. It could be that you tell it in a novel way. It could be that, you know, it's super polished. It could be anything. Your video will have an impact in and of itself. And that's where your creativity can come in. We're going to talk about some of the options for training and support in our workshops in a few moments. But really, anything you can think of is fair game in terms of how you want to tell it. Finally, when it comes to the last 20%, the technical quality. This will include anything you've used like images or animations or sound. Think of it in terms of clarity. Can we see your images as you intend them? So in other words, if you're trying to talk about, say, vision and your image is blurred, that might be on purpose, but we need to know that that's on purpose and that you didn't just have a technical issue with your video. Are we straining to figure out what we're looking at? Is the lighting good enough? We'll be able to help you with that. Can we hear you clearly? Is there audio distortion or competing sounds if you're filming outside? These are all things that we want you to take into account when we're talking about technical quality. We're not asking you to be, you know, professional filmmakers, but, you know, we want you to be taking as much into account as possible, and we're hoping to be able to provide you with the resources for that. For a more detailed breakdown, you can visit our GradFlix section undergraduate community resources. All right, and if you're wondering, why should I participate? This sounds like it's going to be a whole lot, and it is, but it's good fun. So you get a chance to learn a new skill or many new skills, depending on how far afield you go. It's really a great opportunity for you to practice your communication skills and build your technical skills using various multimedia platforms. This is a great chance to really broaden out what you've learned. And for anyone who might be thinking of careers in higher ed, who might be thinking about teaching or faculty positions or knowledge mobilization or knowledge translation or communications, science communications, it's always excellent to have some of these skills at your beck and call, or at least be conversant in them so that you can work with other teams who might be doing this very frequently. So excellent opportunity to build out those skills. It's a chance for you to introduce an audience to what you've been working on and share your research story with a broader audience. You really want to get that information out there. And for anyone who's thinking of, say, SSHRC Storytellers or NSERC Science Exposed, these are also opportunities to be able to get your research out there. And it's a way to introduce yourself to your peers and potential collaborators, building your own network. This is a fantastic way to meet other people and hear what they're researching and share what you're doing, forming your own community. And of course, you can win prizes. Our prizes are as follows. So we have $1,000 for first place, $500 for second, $250 for third, and $250 for the People's Choice. And the top 3 winners will receive the Dean's Award for Excellence in Communicating Graduate Research as well. And the key dates to remember for 2023. So the deadline to register is February 13th. You don't need to have a video at that time. And let me just explain what we mean by registration. So registering and completing that form just indicates to us that you intend to actually participate in GradFlix this year. It allows us to know who you are and then to be able to send you emails and let you know about resources and things and check in with you as you're going through the process. So that's why we're doing it. It's not, it's not meant as a burden or anything else. So if you're planning to continue with GradFlix and go forward, then just make sure that you register, and we'll have some extra special benefits for doing that to share in just a moment. The deadline to submit your videos is March the 1st, and we're going to be using our new platform this year, a WordForce. So Judy's going to share the link to a WordForce in the chat. And I'm just going to tell you about it. So in this platform, it gives you the opportunity to share your video. One of the things that we heard last year from people who were submitting was that they weren't getting confirmations when they submitted their stuff for GradFlix, and it was really bothering people. So with them, they would email and say, did you get my video? Did you get my video? Well, our new platform will actually confirm that your application has been received. It also is a place where we can share that with the judges, so they'll be able to do their judging right in there and provide you with comments and feedback on your submission. So it's actually a really, really cool platform. We're very excited. If you log in, if you created an account and logged in right now, you'll see that there isn't really that much, and that's because we've been so focused on these fantastic workshops that I haven't built out the stuff yet, but it will be there very, very shortly. And if you have any questions about a WordForce, you can always reach out to me via that contact form, and I'm happy to answer them. All right, preliminary judging will begin on March the 6th, and the final showcase will happen on the week of April 3rd on YouTube Live. All right. So if you're wondering about the benefits of registration, I have a few for you. So for those of you who do register before the 13th, you will have 2 weeks of exclusive access to feedback appointments with our mentors. So we are trying to book feedback appointments with our mentors, which we started last year and we're continuing this year. So we're looking to do from 3 weeks this year, starting February 6th, and then going until the end of February. So our registered folks are going to receive 2 weeks of exclusive access. So those final 2 weeks just going to be exclusively for people who have registered. We have communications expert Wade Hemsworth signed up and excited to participate this year. Digital media specialist Chris Lombardo, who has quite a bit of video experience. We lucked out with Chris. So he's going to be able to, weigh in on those video making pieces. And you'll hear me talk about him in a few moments as well. And Sarah Laux, a communications manager in the Faculty of Humanities. And we have more people. We're getting more confirmations every day. So we're going to have that available for you. And like I said, 2 weeks of exclusive mentor appointments just for those who have registered. And you don't have to have your video ready at that point. So, go ahead. If you're planning on submitting for GradFlix, make sure you register. We have tons of resources, which I know Judy has been sharing the links in our chat as we go along, but I want to draw your attention to a few things. So we have the resources page on our website where you'll find all things GradFlix. And that's super important for you. Always check our website. We're constantly updating it. And yes, Judy is the one behind the website, as well as the mailers and all of the awesome information that you receive. If you receive something helpful from grad studies, chances are good that Judy sent that out to you. So, let's give a big round of applause to Judy because she keeps us all informed on everything. We also have some information from Lions New Media Center. So Lions is a really helpful partner for us, and they are really just amazingly helpful. If you're looking to book spaces or anything like that in Lions, you can go to their website. And what they also have is the opportunity for you to book appointments with media specialists. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're using their bookings page, and you can get 30 minutes with a media specialist. And they also have appointments, I believe they have appointments that deal with like sound issues or anything else. So you can go ahead and take a look at that and get assistance as you're going through things. So they've been really helpful. Additionally, we also have resources from our past competitions that are available. And this includes the links to last year's session from John Bandler, presentation coach. He gave on the art of GradFlix. John has graciously agreed to assist anyone who's looking for help. He encourages people to watch his video first to answer any common questions. And his email and contact information is on our site, and you can reach out to John directly and just let him know that you are looking to connect with him. We also have on that website, Elaine Barrett's tips on getting started with your video. This was from last year, I do believe. It's a 15-minute video from Lions that goes through a bunch of basics that if you haven't made a proper video other than, hey, we're all having fun on the weekend, or look at my cute dog, or I'm making a great dinner. If you're, trying to make that more professional kind of video, though still amateur, Elaine Barrett's tips will really help you to get started on that. And now we come to the piece that we've added in this year. So our GradFlix Workshop Series, and thank you, Judy, for creating that calendar. This is super awesome. So if you are looking to find out what we've got going on with all of the training this year, that link will take you to the workshop series, and strongly encourage you to take a look. I'm just going to walk you through what we've got on tap. So clearly we have our info session today. We have coming up this week and repeating next week, stop motion videos. So this is a hands-on opportunity for you to not only learn about stop motion videos, but to actually try your hand at doing it, taking the images that would be used for the stop motion and editing it. So Elaine is going to walk participants through the process of figuring out how you would want to do your stop motion, actually taking some images, and then editing it together using the Camtasia software. All of this happening in Lions, in person, using their awesome tools and resources that are available for everyone to be able to use. Registration is open on our site. It is a limited space, so when you complete the registration, it will specifically tell you that you are not confirmed to attend. And that's because we wanted to make sure that we didn't have 40 people showing up for a workshop that has a capacity of 12. So go ahead, register for that, and then I will go and confirm that space is available for you, or let you know if you're on a wait list. It's the same workshop on the 18th and the 25th. So you can go ahead and register for that. We really, really encourage it. Last year we had 2 different stop motion videos in our top 10. So I mentioned Sergio Reyes Villanueva, who came in second. And then we also had Alex Bernier, which I admit I'm a fan. She had her little sock puppets that moved around, and I thought it was awesome. Definitely go ahead and check those out if you're curious about stop motion and how you might be able to use that. Storytelling with Sarah Laux is also happening on the 25th. Every single video, one of the most important pieces that you're going to have is figuring out what your story is. You only have 60 seconds, and you don't want the people watching the video to be confused. If people are walking away and wondering what the heck is it that they study, that problem likely isn't about your images or your music. It's probably the story. So storytelling with Sarah Laux is going to talk about how we go about putting that together and making sure that the people are able to walk away with that most important information and what makes a good story, whether you're doing a creatively scripted thing or you're doing straightforward telling someone, or you're doing something else and using an analogy. However you want to tell your story, making sure that you have the elements of good communication there is going to be critical. So strongly encourage everyone from every discipline. This is not just a humanities thing. Every discipline can strongly benefit from attending that storytelling session. On the 26th, we have something that's also critically important. So we have lighting and sound. So we talked about the technical bits and how that 20% is going to refer to, can we see, can we hear? Colin Cherneda has agreed to do another workshop for us. He did assist us last year and share some of his expertise. He's absolutely amazing, and his tips on lighting are so practical. They are, I would say, pretty much all of his things are free. And if they're not free, they're super low cost, or potentially something that you could ask one of your friends to borrow, because likely you know someone who has something like a selfie stick. So this is an amazing opportunity. We also have, for Colin's technical workshop, we have the ability for you to actually ask your questions in advance. We've opened up a Slido Q&A so that you can start putting your questions in there, and we will make sure that he gets to them. So that is on January 26th at 10:30. And then this year we have partnered up with Model to assist our English language learners. We're so excited. We have 2 sessions coming from Model. The first is creating a persuasive presentation on January 26th at 1:30, and the second is using your voice effectively. We are very excited to be able to introduce that and to support all of our GradFlixers where English might not be your first language, or maybe you just want to practice or get some assistance. The model is super excited to be partnering with us, and we're all very happy about it. And these sound like amazing topics, so I'm really looking forward to it. The workshop on the 31st, Using Your Voice Effectively, is in person, and that one is in Wilson Hall. So we have all of the details on our website. But all of the other videos or workshops, with the exception of stop motion, are online. And our final workshop that we have confirmed the details of is February 2nd, storyboarding and scripting with Chris Lombardo. So I mentioned Chris as one of our mentors. He's going to be giving feedback. He also happens to be a digital media specialist and an educational developer over in the McPherson Institute, and Chris works with faculty on developing out videos. So this is what he does. And one of the things he's super passionate about is the planning of how to actually get your video to look like what you want it to. So you have in mind what you want to happen in a certain shot. Well, he's going to walk you through the planning process so that you can make sure that your expectations are realistic and that you have things planned out in the order that you want them to happen in, so that when you're filming it, you can get that. And of course, making sure that your script is matching all of this stuff. So many details. It's going to be amazing. We're very excited. All right, and we're waiting on confirmation of making a video with your smartphone, looking at details to see if we can make that happen this year. Fingers are crossed, but we aren't guaranteeing that one at this time. All right, so that is where we are, my friends. Do feel free to contact us by the contact form anytime. We're happy to answer your questions. And like I say, that does go straight to us. I'm going to stop my share now. And if we have any questions from anyone, we can go ahead and answer those. And apparently my camera froze again. Sorry about that. All right, so if we have any questions.
No questions, but I just wanted to say thanks for putting this together. That's a lot of info and a lot of really great resources. So really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Emily. Yeah, it is a lot of information. And yes, the presentation is recorded. So we've got that recorded, frozen camera and all. But, you know, hopefully you'll be able to get everything you need.
I came a little bit late. Is it
Yes.
possible to get, how do we get the recording of this presentation? And how do we get the links of, there was a lot of links posted in the chat. I didn't get a chance to record them all. And how do we get these links to us?
Yeah, so great questions, Hadil, if I've said that correctly. So I would say that we will be having the video linked on our website once it is all processed and ready to go. As for the links, you can't go wrong with going to the Grad Studies website. So I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, and Judy, do correct me if I'm wrong, that basically when you come to the very home page of Grad Studies, that GradFlix is featured prominently, and you can just literally follow the GradFlix links to get everything that you need. It'll take you to the GradFlix resource page, and the events calendar is also linked from there. So that should give you all the information you need. If, of course, you can't find something, let's say that you're looking for a specific resource that you remember I mentioned, because as Emily pointed out, I gave you a lot of info. If there was something that you were looking for and you are coming up empty, use the contact form and just let me know what you're looking for, and I will share that along because we want to make sure that you have everything that you need. We get very excited about watching your videos. I think that's like one of the highlights of doing this program for me, is getting to see what you all come up with, because it's just absolutely mind-blowing. The research that you're doing and the videos that you put together, it's fantastic.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, do we have any other questions? All right, well, in the absence of questions, I'm going to give you the best gift I know how to give, and that is the gift of time. So we finished 20 minutes early, and we will go ahead and let you get on with your day. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, if you do have any questions, please reach out to us. We're happy to help you and to share everything that we've got at our disposal to help you share your research stories. So thanks so much, and we hope to see you at our upcoming workshops. Do register. They're all available and open for you to register on our website. Have a great day, everyone.